This is the On Call Podcast. Your home for sports, news, pop culture, tech, and the obscure. And of course, your host, Michael Myers.
I've been drinking Kool-Aid jammers like I did when I was 9. Cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple cause it feels like a lie. We play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes.
Well. This is the On Call Podcast, and you are listening to this sexy, sweet voice of Mike the Man of Steel and the new Electro Voice RE20.
Michelle, her, because it's singular. I learned that today.
Yeah, not 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, when somebody makes the joke about Michael Myers, you're gonna be like, there's no S, you piece of shit.
So I did that until third grade, and then I was just like, well, I'm not going to do this 65 times a year. So I just go with it. I'm plural.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, you're just like, oh, it's Lowell Brilliant. I'm like, yep, that's me.
That's me.
No problem.
The other sexy beast on camera there is Ender. She's facing away from the camera this day.
Because she's been a huge grump today.
And the other being on camera would be the hot Italian sausage. That is Lowell.
Lowell, sexy pants, brillante.
You're just the hot Italian sausage to me.
I'm a little slice of beefcake.
Oh, that's good water. It's good water.
No.
It just goes on ever.
It's like pretty much every other water that I've ever had, probably.
It just goes on ever and ever and ever and ever for the YouTubers. You can read, can't you? It says ever.
Ooh.
It's not as good as Liquid Death, though. I'm just going to say that right now.
It's like Liquid Life. Even better. Ooh. I'm speaking with Nathaniel Comfort tomorrow. He's very keen on correcting me with his superior knowledge of genetics.
Is that saying much, though? How much genetics knowledge do you have?
More than the average person, less than the PhDs. But the thing about the PhDs is they all have different opinions. So I have an opinion, so maybe I'm equal to them.
You know what they say about opinions.
They're like buttholes.
Yeah, everyone's got them.
Some are really good, and some are just meh.
So, do you remember when we talked to your crazy friend?
Thompson?
Look at it. You see? All I had to do was say the crazy one.
Yeah, I know. He's become like a thing between us now. Yeah, Thompson is
It's a strange bird.
got a little weird there at the end, but he texted me the other day. I didn't respond, but yeah.
So, he talked about me inventing a drink with the peach whiskey and the sweet iced tea.
Pisky.
Now, it was fucking fabulous. The Crown Peach, I dare say, might be the greatest drink I've ever tasted. The problem is it's only out for 2 months at a clip. My problem now is those 2 months are up.
Oh, shit.
So I went searching, stopping at liquor stores, looking like a desperate hobo who just got $3 and trying to find a way to find
your fix.
The only other peach whiskey out there right now is a Jim Beam. And unfortunately, the Jim Beam does not even advertise about being a whiskey or a bourbon or a whiskey bourbon or a bourbon whiskey for that matter. It is a liqueur whiskey.
Okay.
It is incredibly loaded with sugars and artificial sweeteners.
Are you going to infuse it yourself? So you're telling me?
I'm wondering if I could buy myself a couple of barrels and I could age my own peach whiskey. So today's drink, other than the Life Water or the Water of Life, since Life Water I'm sure is trademarked at this point, is a Jim Beam peach, and it's just not the same. You know, there was a smoothness, a real flavor extract to it.
How much did it improve your life? Like
someone who likes to drink, I don't drink because
somebody
I
who
need
has to drink.
3 weeks
Sorry,
a year, maybe, or 3
talking
weeks a
about me.
month. Yes. But I drink
Terry,
because I enjoy
you
it.
you didn't beat your kid enough.
I've never actually had to spank my kid.
But have you been spanked
One time,
by your mom or your dad?
it was mom. After my second grade PTA meeting, parent-teacher conference. I remember because I was playing Troy Aikman football when my mom leaned in the door and said she got back. When she got back, she's just like, turn your game off. My dad wasn't a hitter either. Like he knew he never wanted to be the parent that abused. I don't know if he was ever hit by my grandpa, but I do know that he didn't want to be that dad.
My sister and my brother have 100%, or I'm sorry, 180 degree opposite parenting styles. So my brother's like, sit the fuck down, chill out. And my sister's like, let's talk about your feelings. So it's be a good study when they grow up.
I look forward to hearing about that on either Prodigy or Investigation Discovery.
Oh, yeah, we need we're brainstorming names for this new pitch. It's like video game narrative, and I'm trying to think of a good name.
You have a new podcast?
Well, no, it's we're just working on the first episode. It's a pitch, but yeah. Ooh, but I did tell iHeart, hey, occasionally like a company will come to us and be like, hey, we want to do a podcast, like, you know, brand it or whatever. And I'm like, they were like, if anyone's interested in like pitching the creative concepts, reach out to this guy. And I reached out to him immediately because I already know him. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to do that. Develop, pitch, let somebody else handle it, do another.
And when you do that creative pitch and everything like that, would you be making the first episode and recording it, or
Probably just outlining it. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably just pitching.
After that, would you intend to be a writer for it, or
No, that's not my skill set. My skill set is maybe just like brainstorming the idea.
So you're just the idea man looking for angel investors for everything, right?
Yes. But the unfortunate thing is ideas aren't worth shit. It's all about execution. So if I can find a gig where I can just brainstorm ideas, that'd be great.
Damn it, I love this microphone already. The removed bass. That was my only beef with the Procaster is
too much bass.
Yeah, as someone who already has an incredibly deep voice comparatively to the general public.
Make your voice as deep as it can go right now.
Let me cough it out. Mufasa. Everything the light touches is ours.
Sounds like a fake bass. Face.
I don't know. I know I have a naturally deep voice. So
I also have a very naturally deep voice. It's because I have a huge dick. Sorry. Oh, sorry, Terry. Fuck. Sorry, Terry.
Luke,
Terry's judging me right now.
I am your father.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing. I was listening people who saw Star Wars in theaters, and they were like waiting, for what like happened in the second and third episode because they didn't know. Because when I started watching the originals, they were all out. But yeah, apparently that was like a huge moment. It's been so long, I can't remember what I felt when it happened.
The internet has ruined spoilers and just not knowing if there's going to be another.
Ugh, I remember when the first or second new Star Wars came out, and like you'd be in like a Twitch chat, and there'd be like a troll just like posting spoilers, like Han Solo dies, like.
And then think
people.
even in in TV back in the day, everyone loved the dramas. So it was in Who Shot JR? Do you know what that was a TV series? I think it was Dallas.
Nope. But I remember there was an Office episode about Dallas. And that is Dallas.
Who Shot JR? It was on the show Dallas. That's right. I was right. See, so I watched the episode before he died in the shower, which was
spoilers. Come on.
Sorry.
People haven't seen that show.
Sorry, 1984.
I know it's like 30 years old, but
I know you guys are time traveling like we are because Biden has already won and we hold Senate majority November 12th or so. But and back in the day, like there was no internet, no rag mags. I'm sure that like the National Enquirer probably was out then, but you would watch a season finale and you would legitimately not know what happened. You'd be like, oh, I hope they make a new one. I hope there's a new, And nowadays,
sounds fun, right? It was fun.
I kind of miss that.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, there's a magic to it. There's
gone.
There's the pros and cons. I feel like that are almost equal with technology.
We need it so badly now. We can't even wait for. We can't even watch a series week by week. We demand it be binged in one day.
Well, I mean, people back then would like that shit too. I mean,
I know, but
when you have the option,
Netflix fucking ruined it for everybody.
In a good way.
In a good way.
I don't even watch TV. Fuck, like.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I have
I watched
CNN.
the show tonight.
You watch TV?
Oh, I watched a Netflix show tonight. Love and on the Spectrum, like
That's a Netflix show.
Yeah, like they're dating, but they're on the spectrum.
Did you watch the one where he was playing the piano? He played the Witcher theme song.
Yes. No, it wasn't Witcher. It was Skyrim. But yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy, right? So as someone who's not on the spectrum, if I had that skill, I would try to lead her into like wanting to hear something on the piano. So I could be like, "Are your panties wet yet?"
Oh God.
And
she was into. She was into him last time I left off. But that girl. I mean, she wasn't into the Mike guy. Like that guy was super nice and pretty handsome. I don't understand.
Women don't know. Are you an incel?
Well, me?
Are you on the R nice guys?
Thankfully, no. But a lot of when I was watching those awkward conversations, I was like, "That's me. That's me. That's me." That's how I feel inside. I'm like just struggling to keep it together, especially in the first time you meet somebody. The second time, I'm just like, whatever. Rip a huge fart. No, I'm just kidding. But it's more relaxed after the first time. I guess it's just awkward. Especially, what about first time having sex too? I mean, that's never. I mean, I feel like the best I can expect for the first time having sex is like, it's okay.
The first time having sex, like, all I can imagine is apology afterwards. Like, hey, it's not always this way. Just so you know.
And then what about two people who are both very, like focused on their partner? You know, like you have like a polite battle of.
Listen, Lowell, you're already a unicorn. The odds you meet another one, pretty slim.
Don't know about that.
Good for you. I'm incredibly selfish, so I can't even imagine what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, you locked down Nicole. Is it just from the baby you threw in her?
Yeah, I just figured it's like, I'm done trying again. Let me just continue letting my body go to shit.
Yeah, right. You're a big old teddy bear. But you know what the fun thing about letting your body go to shit is?
A better cuddler?
Well, yeah. Well, no, okay, yeah. But when you decide to get ripped, it's like a big challenge and a change. It's exciting. If I decided to get ripped, people would be like, "Oh, did you like? I thought you were already ripped." You know, like it's like 4 pounds. You know,
bro, that's not at all how it's like. I am an
what?
overweight. No. I
lost 50 pounds. I know what it's like.
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
Were you in a
fun.
5-year relationship?
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I got ripped to be attractive to girls, so
I think that would have been impossible. If I lost 50 pounds and got ripped, she'd be like, Who you fucking? Who are you trying to look good for? I loved
I
you when
know,
you were
right?
fat and doughy.
You piece of
Who are
shit.
you losing it for now?
I'm not gonna touch your wiener.
I would think the same thing too. As I was, hey, you've been going to the gym a lot lately.
Yeah, right.
What's the deal? What you don't like working out? I love you. Your subliminal messages popping up on video.
Yeah, you gotta shout out your best listener. Come on.
That's true. He's probably the only person on YouTube that's watched all of them because I'm sure there's a couple that have only have like 2 views.
Ooh, I throw a like out on it.
Oh, did you? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, you said I was looking. You
commented.
said I was tipsy.
No, that was me. I was thinking
Yeah.
about me. Cause yeah, I was thinking about me.
Oh,
I was very slurry in that episode. So yeah.
well, on the Halloween episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were buzzed.
And I'm only slightly slurry right now.
That was after we talked to the psychologist too. So like you had an hour sitting there drinking when she was asking me the deepest personal questions in history.
Oh, Alex. Yeah.
I like her.
I know. Yeah. No, she's good. She's really good. You know what's funny?
Oh, Ender, look at it. Wasted virtual cam.
She's scratching her neck. I was like, yeah, we were talking about episodes for the video game podcast we're pitching, and I was like, yeah, I want to write one. I want to write one about like war games, you know. And she was like, yeah, that would be even great if we could relate it to the Electoral College. And I was just like, what? How are we gonna relate war games to the Electoral College? But I mean, she's a good writer, and she's
So in that vein,
structuring things.
I would actually have to imagine it has to do with focused.
Oh God, her farts. She's been farting tonight. I gave her a bunch of vegetables. I was
I'm guessing war games, and that has to do with dispersion of troops and focus of intent compared to, Democrats traditionally focus their goals on major cities.
It doesn't work. It just literally what I'm gonna have to ask her to follow up on that because I'm really confused by that. But no, I was thinking like the whole Ender's Game thing, where like video games, because it's a video game podcast. So how video games relate to warfare? We use them to train people, but also
in the last
would
8
kids
years.
who are very very good at video games better than adults? Would we use them for war games like happens in Ender's Game? Like I'm very interested in that.
Well, children have a lot more elasticity in their brains, so
Plasticity.
quick twitch is a major thing. Hand-eye coordination. The earlier you develop hand-eye coordination, the longer it lasts.
That's debatable.
That's already been found. We discussed that in nursing school.
Let me tell you something. Is that anything that you believe that's a study that's proven it? How many times has it been reproduced? Has there been a meta-analysis? We don't it has to be really reproduced a bunch of times for it to be true, actually.
Well, okay, so the fact is, you can never prove a theory true. You can only disprove it.
No, when it's a theory, it's like been proven 100 fucking times. Like the
Doesn't
theory
matter.
of
You can
gravity.
still find a way to disprove it. It doesn't. It's no longer valid then.
No. So when sometimes people will be like, I'll be like, oh, it's just a theory. And I'm like, yeah, theory means something different when it comes to science. It means it's been proven countless times. Like the theory of gravity, right? People aren't going to be like, oh, that's not true, or we found something else.
Just
Doesn't
haven't
work
been
like
disproven
that.
yet.
A theory in science, well, it's been proven like thousands of times in different ways. A theory in other things, that means it's just like, I think this. But in science, it's like been proven.
Fair enough. But
Studies, though, when
I
people
do
tell you something and they say there's a study, that doesn't mean a whole lot, because how many times has a study been reproduced? There's something called the replication crisis, where they see what happened is that there was a study that proved ESP, and they were like, wait a minute.
someone lied
if
to
this
him.
study if this study can prove ESP, can it be replicated? No one can replicate it. And they're like, oh, can people replicate these other studies? They couldn't replicate them. And they're like, okay, we need like different methods for studies.
Scientific method, I realize, is the gold standard. But to say that a kid growing up on video games over 10 years, you give someone who's never played video games, both of them 1 month to play a video game, same amount of time, the person that's younger is going to be better at it. Just like your theory on doing push-ups. If you have a better base for it, you're going to be better at it.
All I'm saying is that plasticity maybe doesn't just exist when you're young.
No, I was saying elasticity, and that has to do with neurons in the brain.
No, it's plasticity is the term for what you're talking about in the brain.
It's elasticity. Neurons.
Look it up. It's plasticity.
I don't have a spare. So,
I'm 140% confident it's plasticity.
I'm trying. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're both right. It's elasticity and neuroplasticity. Sorry. It's neuroplasticity. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I give you neuroplasticity. You're right.
It's not like I'm a genius. I've just been studying it for the past 6 months. And that was one of my first questions.
To who? To the
psychologist. Like, why would a child be better at learning something? Is plasticity a real thing? Maybe. Well, Anders Ericsson said that geriatrics experience plasticity too. So, but he was a single cause guy.
So where do you sit on it?
On what? Oh, plasticity. Oh, you mean like well?
Do you think there's a greater benefit for the young learning something versus the old? And
yes. Can I explain it? No.
So you're on my side. We just disagreed on the terminology.
Yeah, I don't like the word elasticity.
Of all the fucking things to disagree with me about, it's that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just like, I mean, I think definitely there's a lot of research to be done, and we don't really fucking understand the brain that well. It's just like we understand it a little bit, but not that much because there's, I don't know, like 1 trillion neurons. And then also what I've learned is that, and depending on what like fucking genius scientist you ask, you'll get a different answer every time. So, but what I do know is that younger kids seem to be really a lot better at picking up new technologies. And maybe because, that's the first thing that they learn. So that molds their brain. I don't know. But yeah, it definitely seems that way. But also there's argument for late blooming. It's like the early specialization versus late blooming argument, I think. So people who have like different experiences and then they pick what interests them the most, they tend to last longer and be more successful at it.
Well, see, that's where you're gonna blow me away as far as knowledge goes because you've done your prodigy work.
Yeah, I know a little bit about a bunch of shit, and it's really fucking hard, dude. There's just so much information, so many different theories, and they're all proven, and not theories, I'm sorry, whatever you call them. Studies.
I don't know. It's just, where do we? And they say we're in the medieval stages of the brain.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Comparatively to understanding the rest of everything else, we're in the medieval ages of understanding the brain, which is astounding considering how many scans and new ways to scan people.
Yeah,
we
but
still don't know shit.
Think about like a memory that you associate with a smell, right?
I love that. The olfactory sense is the strongest sense known to man.
Right, so you smell a certain smell, and it brings you back to a childhood memory. How do you track that in the brain? Like, it's hard. Like, there's neurotracing, and I talked to Dr. Rob about this, where they're like...
how was that? I want to know how you're... Did you enjoy talking to him? What else did you talk about? Dr. Rob's one of my heroes.
He was good. So I think what they would do is they would, like, put in a molecule that they could track into the brain and see where it would go based on certain stimuli. So we can see like, oh, this part of the brain lights up, or I'm sorry, he tracks blood flow. So this part of the brain is getting blood flow when this happens. But that's what they're tracking. They're not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that's not a very detailed explanation of what's going on, you know. So they're guessing.
So his would be more
Uh,
rudimentary. So like the blood's going there because that's where something's going
Yeah,
that needs the blood at the time.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. But we don't know exactly. We can't tell you exactly. We know like axioms and you know how like a neuron is structured, but we don't know exactly what the fuck is happening.
I wonder if you could get a detailed enough electron scan to see where the focus point of a brain, because that's where the charged electrons would go. So your brain needs the electrons, so that's where the charge would go. I wonder if you could get something concentrated enough to focus on that scan.
It's too complex. We need to be able to like scan the entire brain every millisecond from birth until, 25 years old, and then do that to like 1,000 different people
We need a
and
couple of guinea
record.
pigs.
Yeah, right.
Let's start a
Well,
GoFundMe. I need your
well,
baby.
yeah. I mean, they did. When they did the twin studies, they had like thousands of pairs of twins that would. But yeah, no, it's really complex. It's not simple.
As
It's
terrible
really
as
complex.
as terrible as the Nazis were, they did. Oh, I feel bad.
That's what I'm talking about with the guy on
like,
Friday.
yeah,
Genetic determinism. That's like the downside of analyzing genetics too hard, and certain people think we should just leave it alone because they're like, "Well, what's the upside of it?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, I
knowledge.
figured I could be like, "Oh, this is what I'm really good at. I'll focus on that." But then they focus on the like, what are the negatives of that?
Probably takes away from the humanism aspect of that person because you're not going to
Yeah,
worry about the things that you would inherently learn
yeah. It's
because
like,
you don't care about it because your only concern is learning about what you know you're going to be good at.
yeah. It's complicated. That's all. I mean, that's all I can say.
Fucking
It's too
people are
complex.
complex. There's a reason we're the apex predator and the reason why we can't get along on anything because everybody's a snowflake.
Yeah, that's really what when people ask me what Prodigy is about, that's what I want to say. Like, it's the single cause fallacy. Complex questions require complex answers. It's not simple.
And we're so complex, we don't even have a valid way to experiment, test, and understand it.
Yeah, and let's talk about how technologically advanced we aren't.
To go into that aspect, how about the technology that we've learned have actually caused us to regress in memorization?
Oh, you mean like we
Because
don't need
Google
to?
is at your
Oh,
fingertips, it's never had to become a foundational memory because you
yeah,
don't have
but
to learn it because it's always a one click away. It doesn't
yeah, but
register.
how quickly could you build that up? I mean, like 2 days. Like, well,
I have Googled the same thing.
it's not like we're evolving. It's not like we're evolving that fast. That happens over the period of like millions of years.
I just mean like you're not going to learn something because you don't have to remember it. You want to search something for the second, you go through your little wiki trap or Google at that time. It satisfies your need there. You get the shot of the serotonin and you don't have to remember it again because you satisfied your need and it's done. On
Yeah,
to the
or
next thing.
capitalism. You know how good we're getting at that?
A little too good, probably.
Ooh, but yeah, no, okay, let's just say 100 years ago, or how 100 years ago, but around there, we're shooting each other with muskets in trenches, and then just 60 years ago, the computer was developed, and then only just like 20 to 30 years ago, the internet came about. So on the scale of time, we don't know fucking shit. But imagine where we'll be in like 1,000 years.
We won't be here.
Yeah. If you don't believe that, then it's something that's called the Great Filter. Or if you think all civilizations get through it, but you think we'll wipe ourselves out?
In the grand scheme, yes. I think there will be the mass nuclearization of where we're at.
Of what?
Mass nuclearization. I think we're going to nuke the shit out of civilized life as we know it.
But are you familiar with MADS, mutually assured destruction? It's
Yep.
like the concept that if you nuke another country, they're gonna nuke you right back.
Yeah, I do, and I feel like we're gonna do that. I don't think that's gonna be the safety valve that we've relied on since the Cold War.
And what is going to be the initiating factor, do you think? Or do you just don't know?
Look at how devolved and dissented we've become in America in less than 4 years.
Yeah, but nobody wants to die. That
No.
stuff I think just existed
You're right.
already.
We don't want to die, but there's people that are willing to die to not be wrong twice. Think of all the people. I've spoke to many people. I know that sounds so fucking Trumpian. The amount of people that I've talked to that have expressed regret for voting for Donald Trump.
6.
And then come this election, say that they wish they hadn't voted for him the first time because the divisiveness that we've turned into. We went from the United States of America to a country divided.
Yeah, but we weren't all that divided, and then all that united.
I don't see us going back to being. We're not going to go back to 2001 where everyone loved being American and just stand side by side. It didn't.
That was a facade.
You're right. You're right. It was a facade, but it's the facade I want to go back to believe that people can be that good. I cannot believe how racist America is in 2020.
Yeah.
It's depressing. You know what?
Well,
forget it. I don't want to talk about that. It's fucking depressing. Move on.
I'm just surprised how many people voted for him this time after.
More people this time than last time.
Yeah, well, Biden got more votes than any other president in history. Yeah,
that's true. Only because,
but the goddamn dude, the Electoral College is so stupid. Can we for a second? Like, you win Florida by 6 votes, you get all the Electoral College, even though like half of the state voted for you. You get all of the votes. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So if you don't win that state, that means that's like reinforces a 2-party system. You can't vote third party because
your vote doesn't matter to the third party system.
Yeah. So why would you get all the votes? Like, why wouldn't you get your percentage of them?
2 states have already passed legislation to allow for a popular vote.
Yeah, like Electoral College is fine to like as a scale ratio, but for weighted scale. But why would you get all of them if you win it by a smidgen? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm so confused. I need a scientist, a historian to explain this to me.
That goes back to racism in the 60s, right? The Electoral College, to make sure that black votes then mattered from where they were at.
I thought it was to counteract like population density, which why? Okay. Also, I don't think that's bullshit, but
that was the intent. But now, unfortunately, Republicans have gerrymandered to such an extent they've tried to isolate such small groups to negate their vote to begin with. Oh.
Nobody changes their opinion until they get burned.
Where are we at?
I don't know.
33 minutes. Mark Kelly wins the Senate race. Democrat. Arizona.
Really? Oh, sounds like a Republican name.
No, yeah. Democrat Mark Kelly takes over. Oh, and he beat the incumbent, so they flipped that seat.
Is it a Senate race? Because it's
I'll remove that part.
As long as the Republicans don't have the majority, I'll be all right. Like Mitch McConnell, the day that motherfucker just dies, not from being murdered, but from old age or whatever.
Fucking dies. He's one of the worst human beings on the planet.
Visit his grave. But one of my most upvoted Reddit comments was saying, "Fuck Paul Ryan."
From Wisconsin?
Paul Ryan? He was
or Illinois.
Wasn't he like Mitch McConnell's job before? He's the Boy Scout.
Oh,
What's a good intro?
Of the house.
Yeah, Speaker of the House. How should I intro?
He's from
Prodigy?
Janesville, Wisconsin, where I'm fucking from. Yeah, I know that motherfucker.
Handsome, right?
Piece of shit. He tried to destroy the UAW for years and years. UAW being the United Auto Workers Union. He was corrupt then when he was nobody.
And then he talked crap about Trump after he got out of office. Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Christie was on fucking CNN talking shit about Trump.
I know. Right? Yeah, like Ted Cruz, all those people. Let me ask you a question. Should I intro Prodigy, the first episode, like trying to make chess sound cool and complicated? Or should I introduce it like this is a nature versus nurture debate? Not debate, but like...
Who's your target demo?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm assuming it is people who are interested in like psychology. It should be higher wage earners, I imagine.
Then you're gonna go to make chess sound smart, or chess sound
Chess-
cool. Chess is cool.
Yeah, but I mean like or do I introduce the whole concept? Like this is nature versus nurture. Lots of people like me, you might believe that it's a combination of environment, genetics, and training. But some people try and sell you the concept that it's just training and then go into it. Or do I say chess is a game so old its origins are unknown, and then I introduce chess and then go into the Polgar sisters? Or do I introduce nature versus nurture and then go into Polgar sisters?
If you're trying to keep a more similar...
Oh God!
In the intro, to keep a similar intro theme the whole way through, you would have to bring up probably the nature versus nurture aspect.
But it's not the issue with the I guess the other episodes. The issue with the first episode.
Do you want to record a brand new intro every single time?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, because the only intro that's staying the same is my name is Lil Berlanti and this is Prodigy. Everything else is different.
Oh, well,
it's
then
just
go
like
to make chess sound cool, because it is.
Okay.
A small argument to talk about intelligence and chess being cool, because if you're going
because I mean,
higher wage earners.
After the very, very beginning, like it's just 2 sentences, and then I go into, right, so I think it can be both, because then I say, is genius a game of genetic roulette? Are we born with it? It's just important, I guess. Just lucky enough to have genetic traits that are a perfect match. Or is that what we like to tell ourselves because we didn't try as hard? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just having trouble with the wording of the intro.
It's hard to be a good writer.
I know. You need to like work. You need to get feedback and workshop and do, what's it called? Where they like ask questions to a bunch of people to see how they're gonna react. Like,
Yeah, good forum.
Especially because I fucking made it. Like, I don't know how people are gonna experience it for the first time. I made it from nothing.
Yeah, if only you could have like the small town debates that have like during presidency, like during those
town halls.
The town halls, like that would be so beneficial to create something.
What do they call? What do they call it when they do like when they have a commercial and they like show it to some people and ask questions? I can't remember
the screening thing. Yes.
Something like
a specific name for it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Don't worry, this won't be aired. I already marked where it was at.
What won't be airing?
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't want to give away the goods.
Oh, I don't care. It's fine.
So, we talked about shit before, and I just wanted to bring up, I talked to Sean, the Man of Steel, again today.
Ooh, I was listening to the episode today where you're talking about him.
My dad talked to him today as well.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because I gave my dad the name of Sean, the Man of Steel, his real name, so he looked him up on Facebook, and he messaged him too.
And what did he say?
My dad was...
How dare you talk to my son, you son of a bitch.
No, my dad was actually way more enthralled with it than I thought he would be.
Oh my God, you're Sean, the Man of Steel.
Yeah, he sounded just like that. I didn't know you... Did you talk to my dad? He sounds just like that.
Yeah, your dad called me and was like, oh my God, you're a mole.
So he talked to Sean, and Sean, who's been out of radio for almost 20 years now, is just like, I think I want to get back on radio.
Ew.
So
You give me the motivation I need. Oh God. All right. Yeah, go on.
So he's you sound like the Mike Duncan on.
You sound real parody. Sorry. Go on. I know. I'm sure I'm being racist. I apologize.
He wants to get back in the game.
Radio or podcasting? Did you tell him that?
Told him radio's dead.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah. So he's like, I want to get my voice back out there. And I was like, hey, man, I can give you all the tips and tricks that I got. And
Yeah.
it ain't worth much. But if you want to get
No,
your
don't
voice
say
out there
that.
and own everything that you're putting out and you don't have to worry about anything, I got you, man. And he's like,
I expect 15% though, right?
you can. He wants to actually get a mic and try to get in on this and learn.
On the on-call pod.
He wants in on the on-call pod.
I
was
think
like,
you
listen,
should,
man. I was like, you're too good. You probably need your own show.
No. Be like, listen, we'll develop a show together. You can be the main host. I'll co-host. We'll pitch it. We'll do a pilot and we'll pitch it.
I'm like, hey, man, we're the
Target
men of
that
steel.
No, you know what you should do? Create it for a brand. Pitch it to them. They have huge budgets, and well, especially at the end of the year, they have surpluses. Like if they don't spend it, they don't get it next year. Mercedes, $400 million they need to spend by the end of the year.
He needs on something like.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
does
work
he?
on making sure he gets a USB mic. He's got the laptop and just
Yeah.
something to get his voice on there.
Well,
I suggested the MV7
yes, yeah, that's good.
because if he doesn't have a mixer board yet and he
Yeah.
doesn't have the money, like that's your.
I mean, it's still $250, but yeah, I think that's good.
And I talked to my dad about that, and he goes, "That's a lot of money for something if you don't have the money." I was like, "Yeah, but do you want to give him a piece of shit that he's gonna as soon as you got to sound good?"
If you're serious about it, you're gonna need to upgrade.
He's got the voice for voiceover work.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you get
Yeah.
him a good microphone, he will leave us in the dust.
But how are his words, like from his brain?
I mean, good enough to be the #1 radio show in Wisconsin for 5 years.
Yeah, people who are in radio can think on their feet, sure. But in the sea of podcasting,
There's a lot of talent rising to the top now that weren't
Well.
there 15 years ago.
that's questionable. Actually, it's like,
It's hard to
You can
filter through the shit now.
yeah, you can have a good product without marketing, and you're still a failure, right? So you got to figure out how to have a good product and marketing.
So the big hope is that he wasn't a piece of shit while he was the #1 radio disc jockey in all of Wisconsin.
Well, I'm sure he's great.
I mean, he's reached out to me. He's given me his number multiple times. He's just like,
Ooh,
let's do this.
But what is the subject gonna be, though? I mean, that's like a huge, big factor.
So one thing he wanted to do when he wants to talk to me would be, we're on two ends of the country. I'm white, he's black.
Nope.
You
Been
know,
done 1,000 times already now.
Hey, listen, this was a spitball
How
for
you gonna
15
market
minutes.
it? How you gonna market it? Who you gonna market it to?
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to make money right out the gate. Maybe he just wants to get back in as a step. I could be the one who cures his fear of getting back into radio after the fall from the top.
Make a daily news show.
What kind of time do you think I have? I have a kid coming in a week.
Does he?
No, but he wants me
Also-
involved
What? Why?
because I'm the fucking man that got him unafraid to do it.
Oh man, that could be a whole podcast narrative.
I'm gonna be a
about how you
fucking. This is the On-Call podcast network.
Yes, but you know what? You know how I was talking about how like podcasts like location based are going to be big. There's a network launching up right now called CityCast, and they're doing that exact thing. But daily news, where does he live again?
Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, which is a suburb
Jesus
of
fucking
Madison.
Christ. Okay, never
No, it's
mind.
Madison.
Fuck. All right. It's not that hard to start a daily news show. It's 5 minutes. You know, but you do have to write 750 words every morning. So maybe that is too much. But dude, a conversation podcast, you know how hard that is to fucking get off the ground? Like,
Yeah, I do.
if you can't do
I do realize.
if you can't do pre-preparation, it's just hard. Unless you have like a marketing plan and you guys are just like really good. I'm sure he's great, but
The hope is
I
he
don't know.
carries us along with just name alone.
no.
No, the number one disc jockey.
Nope.
No, it's gone. It's too far gone.
But that doesn't mean you can't be successful. It's just figure out like a strategy.
Well, let me get him a microphone and shit for. He's starting from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, let him get himself a microphone and then have him on the show and we'll talk to him and figure something out.
Yeah.
Or you or whatever, I don't care.
No,
But-
you're in.
Yeah.
You're the as much as the on-call pod as I am. I just did 3 episodes on a shitty board that it sounded scratchy the whole time.
You know what they did for Monster DC Sniper? They got this guy, like a radio TV guy, Tony something, I can't remember. He's a great voice, and he was the host, the voiceover guy. So he like having a narrative podcast and then having someone like with a fantastic voice be the narrator, super valuable. Totally.
So those people created the show for it. So like, so the other people were just writing for it and let the voiceover guy talk. What?
The voiceover guy just records tells the story.
Screenshots and shit like that over
What's that?
screenshots.
Screenshots?
Well, what did he record over?
Voiceover?
So he's a narrator through a podcast.
Yeah.
With no visuals whatsoever.
No visuals. It's a podcast.
Yeah, so is Joe Rogan's too, and he's got a whole video every time you click his fucking links on Spotify.
Yeah, but most podcasts are not videos. I mean, that defeats the whole purpose of the goddamn medium. You can do something else while you're listening.
If you have YouTube Premium, you can lock your screen and everything.
Yeah. Then what's the point of a goddamn video fucking podcast? People aren't watching. I don't watch people talk. I just don't like.
That's
I
how
don't
Joe
understand
Rogan
it.
got huge. So you're shitting on something
Ah.
that made him number one.
Why?
I know, people are cool.
People
like
listen to
see reactions.
podcasts
It's
because they can
visceral.
do
It's
other
fucking
shit.
Visceral, lol.
You son of a bitch! I will fucking slap you right in the face.
You want to see reactions?
Why?
I don't know.
If I'm gonna see reactions, I'll watch TV. People listen to podcasts because they can do other shit while they're
just
doing
like
it.
terrestrial
listening.
radio. You don't want to watch TV.
You know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay, Trump. He's like, you know what? Never mind. You know what? That's not what I was trying to talk about. This is fake news.
You didn't ask Joe Biden that question. Joe Biden. I love it when they put it into one word. Joe Biden.
Oh, so you watched that 60 Minutes interview, huh?
Nah, well, I did. You mean the one where he like got up and left? Yeah. I saw that part.
Yeah, I watched the third. I watched his whole interview and then the one that 60 Minutes released. They were trying hard to make him not. Georgia is fucking 1,800 votes away.
It's close, right? I got a text from that a little bit ago.
I can't believe how close it is. I never would have guessed. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, God damn it, dude. The graphic designer, Fair Prodigy, said I was going to get the comps yesterday. So today, I texted her and I was like, checking on the comps. Oh, yes, I'm finishing those now. I'll send those over shortly. And then, you know what? I still haven't gotten them. A little disappointed.
So you speak about that. I've been waiting on my stuff from Dan since October or August.
For the, what was it?
2 more hoodies.
Yeah, that's gonna be a let's escalate that shit right now. Because you know what? The only reason that he's not taking care of it is because you're being very nice to him, which was cool before, but now it's like, I'm gonna need my money back, dude.
I told him I'm assuming that it's just not coming. It is what it is. And then he's blaming
Did he tell you
USPS.
it was shipped before?
Yeah, 3 times.
Okay. All right.
And then he
It's
gave
time
me
to
free.
escalate.
He gave me a week ago. He's like, you know, what? I'll give you 10 free shirts.
Say no. That's okay. I want my money back or my product by this day, or I'm going to write you a very descriptive but accurate review on Google.
He sent the
Although I'm
stickers.
gonna feel bad for that guy because sounds like he's struggling. But what the thing is that when you escalate, they take care of you as opposed to somebody else first. It's about putting out the biggest fire with those types of people.
I do feel like I've been pushed on the back burner because one of those sweatshirts was supposed to go to my dad.
Dude, fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. He's lying to you. Escalate it. I'm happy to do it for you. Because I know you're a nice guy.
Yeah, it's frustrating because he was always nice to me. He gave a good deal on my mom's banner and everything, and then everything fell apart.
A good deal. Yeah. He sounds like he's a piece of shit, and he gave you a good deal.
I've been waiting on phone cases too. Now there's a new fucking iPhone coming out. My phone case is gonna be moot.
It's time to escalate with that guy for sure.
I'm on.
I
I'll
got
text
it.
him tomorrow.
I got it. I got you.
You're just gonna start posting Dan.
Oh no. You don't go public until the very last.
Oh, that's your last step. That's the
yeah.
That's the finger on the button with a
Yeah.
C4 around my waist sort of thing.
No, it's like the okay, well this is just gonna stay up type of thing. I'm done. And then they can solve it or not.
Oh,
But
thanks.
yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks for speaking for me. I don't know what to do.
Well, you're nice. It's not a bad thing.
I'm just tolerant. I'm tolerant. That's about it.
Sounds like that dude has some problems though.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
What's his name again?
Dan.
All right.
He's emailed you too, isn't he?
Is he on Twitter? I mean, I knew he was, but I don't see him.
Yeah.
What's his Twitter?
Well, let's not do that.
Okay, right. Yeah, sure.
Oh, shit. Hey, speaking of Twitter, you said Twitter, so I went onto it. Guess who just followed me on Twitter?
The Superman guy?
I don't even know if he has one. I actually just got followed by Sergeant Slaughter from the WWF way back in the day.
Hey.
I wonder what made him follow me. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. He's got 70,000 followers. I don't know why he just followed me.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit. I opened up my Twitter and I just saw your face where you realized what a mistake you made by eating that chip.
You're not on Twitter very often, huh?
Well, not on that account, but also no. I'm a Reddit guy, and I can only pay attention to sort of like one social media. There's too many, dude. How you gonna keep up? You can keep up with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Google Plus. Just kidding. I don't know. Whatever else there is. It's too many.
All right. I'll text you his Twitter feed, his Twitter handle.
Please do.
Because he did change his thing.
Yeah, of course. You trying to get a wrap on this bad boy? Wrap it up?
I didn't cover my fucking
Ship it
stories.
out?
God damn it.
Oh, you got one?
I had a few.
Oh, well, a few stories.
Yep.
How long has this episode been going?
It's been over an hour. But it's
Okay,
I
let's
got
wrap.
I have a lot to rip out, but let's run a second one. We'll run a shorter one.
Take a Pepto-Bismol. And let's wrap this one up. Take a Pepto-Bismol, and then we'll rip that one out.
Yep. So we're probably looking at 2 40-minuters.
Okay.
I love you. This has been the On-Call Pod
podcast. Yes.
with Mike the Man of Steel.
Thanks for listening to the On Call Podcast. Check us out on Twitter at OnCallPod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.